Hello, everybody. As Kim mentioned, my name is PJ Jordy. I'm the Business Development Manager for the Acumatica practice. Along with me today, I've got Chris Joko. He is our Principal Solutions Architect, and we will be covering, as she said, the e-commerce version and some information on the Acumatica product. So Chris will walk you through a live demo. So DSD, we're a team of dedicated software and IT experts, consultants, and CPAs. We focus on exceptional software solutions and enabling business efficiency, growth, and success. And we have expertise in the fields that you see here: configurations, implementations, training, ongoing support of business management, software systems, and this also does include IT infrastructure necessary to support them. So DSD, we've been in business for quite some time. We've been in business for over 36 years. As you can see, we've done well over 5,000 custom implementations and over 9,000 businesses. Down below, you will see that we are an Acumatica Gold certified partner, along with some other accreditations that we've got in various companies as well. So DSD is headquartered in San Diego, California. As you can see here, we are spread out all over the place. We've got 45 offices or more in North America. Moreover, we do have many colleagues outside of these offices. Just about everybody's remote now. So no matter where you are, DSD has always got you covered no matter what the need is. So these are some of the Acumatica solutions that we offer, different editions that Acumatica has, depending on what business type or what vertical you may be in, from general business, distribution, manufacturing, field services, and obviously we are going over commerce today. And then we do offer some other products such as the ones you see below, Criterion and Sage, for human capital management and other needs. So what you see here, these are badges from Acumatica. We have to earn these badges. They are not given to us. From consulting to sales to pre-sales, integrations, technical support, you name it. And as Acumatica comes out with a couple big updates per year, we do have to renew these every 2 years to stay up to date on all things Acumatica. So that way we know that everybody is in good hands as we walk through from start to finish on any process that you may need. So let's talk about Acumatica. So Acumatica, what we try to do is we try to solve what today's businesses look like. What you see here is a lot of disconnected functions, from BI and reporting, your sales, CRM, mobile workforce. Everything it can be run in different systems, and it's not efficient. And those can result in things that you see here to the right: your duplicate data entry, incorrect information, multiple software products to learn and update, and not to mention increasing maintenance costs across all those individual softwares for any of those outdated or legacy systems that you may be using. And Acumatica brings all of that together. Main goal is we want to make sure that you're running your business efficient and successfully, and it brings all of those inefficient, disconnected processes together. And as you see all the benefits to the right, you have instant updates across all systems, a single version of the truth for all of your users, along with the improved productivity, fewer systems to maintain, and the mobile workforce, which we'll talk about in just a moment. So this is Acumatica's customer bill of rights. I'm not going to go through all of these, just a couple I want to point out with you guys because they're very important and they're a great benefit of Acumatica. We have open platforms for rapid integrations. It is an open API, so it is very flexible and it allows integrations and links to many outside systems. So it makes it very easy to make sure that we can get you connected no matter what you need to do. Number 4, sustainable pricing with annual increases of no more than 3%. Not many of our competitors can say that. You know, your average increase for most of the competitors out there is normally 10% or north of. You're guaranteed to have a 3% or less per year increase, but never more than 3%. And the last one is access to your data anytime. So Acumatica offers multiple deployments, and no matter which deployment you go with, if you ever do leave Acumatica, you will never lose access to be able to get your data out, no matter what the situation is. So Acumatica is built on various very newer technologies that are making companies more successful. So you have your general business editions on the left, all right? Depending on your business size, you have your small business, then it goes to advanced and enterprise. And then what you see below are going to be your core modules for Acumatica. To the right are your industry editions. So again, depending on what industry you may be in, we've got distribution, commerce, manufacturing, construction, and field services modules as well. Acumatica is built on XRP platform. It is on a SQL Server database. It is hosted by Acumatica should you choose that way on Amazon Web Services, but it can use Microsoft Azure. It is compatible with that as well. And it is built on .NET Framework with HTML5. So one of the big benefits of Acumatica is the way that it does its licensing. We don't charge per seat users. Basically, it includes all employees, not just a few, depending on what your company's needs are. We always make sure that we right fit you to put you in the right space, so that way you have everything that you need and the proper requirements for your speed and your size that you're looking for. And it can scale with your business as it grows. If you have seasonal requirements, you can scale up at the busy times, scale down. Again, there's no per user fees, and this does remove business bottlenecks to improve your results with no slowdowns and no per user maximum. So Acumatica's compliance and security, you can rest knowing that if you guys do take credit cards, it is SOC type 1 and 2 compliant and PCI compliant as well. And you'd be able to know that there is modern security such as enterprise grade security, such as server-side logic, detailed access controls, and robust authentication such as two-factor authentication built in. So a moment ago, I talked about how flexible Acumatica was with its open APIs. Acumatica has 200 ISVs, which are independent service vendors. These are just a very small portion of some of the certified applications that have direct integrations already built into Acumatica, things such as Salesforce, Office 365. As you can see, as today, we've got direct integration with BigCommerce, Power BI, Avalara for tax, and DocuSign, and many, many more. All of these are certified, tested, and we are good at putting all of these together for you. So this is just some of Acumatica's recognition and awards. This does not sum up the long list that they do have, but I did have a couple in here I wanted to point out. So Acumatica was given a Cody Award. It's one of the most prestigious tech icon awards out there. And we actually were Best Cloud ERP Solution, Best Manufacturing Solution, and Best ERP Software, along with PC Mag, giving us that as well. On the right, you'll see that Acumatica was ranked highest in customer satisfaction and usability by Gartner and G2 Crowd. And just this past July, IDC MarketScapes actually gave us Best Mid-Market ERP platform out there right now. So what you see here, this is a tile slide just basically showing the ever-growing number of Acumatica clients. This does grow daily. This does not sum up all of the customers that Acumatica has. Obviously, we'd be here for much longer than we are today, but this is just to give you an idea as to how quickly Acumatica really is giving momentum, or is gaining momentum for the industries out there right now. So just some other features of Acumatica and its reporting. So it's got over 250 plus standard reports, many of which can be customized if needed. And then we do also have, some trusted ISVs out there for, Power BI, Tableau, some ISV partners, depending on how deep and granular and what you're looking for in dashboards or reports outside of Acumatica, but it is very robust out of the box. But there's always solutions for you to be able to know that no matter what type of reporting needs you have, Acumatica has you covered. So this is one of my favorite pieces of Acumatica is, as I mentioned earlier, the mobile workforce. So one of the great things about Acumatica is it is a true cloud solution and it is a web-based program. So as long as you have access to internet and any web browser, you can access Acumatica from anywhere, anytime. The great thing is it can be used on iPhones, Androids, tablets, laptops, even Apple Watches, and can now even be used with Alexa or Siri. And it always looks the same. Again, if your guys in the field are using anything on a phone and they update it, you get the automatic updates back at home office, and you'll always be up to date in real time. So very, very great feature of Acumatica and keeping everybody, no matter where they are, up to date. So one of the other great benefits of Acumatica is its training options. Acumatica, no matter whether you're a customer or not, they give access to Acumatica's Open University. There are many, many training articles that are on here, videos. It's always free. And then during implementation, should you move forward with Acumatica, obviously you would have training through that period. And then we can also discuss further instructor-led trainings and things that are needed at that time as well. So you'll always be in the know with Acumatica, and you'll never be in the dark. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Chris Joko, our Principal Solutions Architect. He's going to walk you through the commerce piece and the live demo once this is completed. So Chris, with that, it is all you.
Thanks, PJ. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're good.
Perfect. Great, guys. Well, thank you guys all for joining us today. The focus of our webinar today is really to talk about the power of Acumatica's Commerce Edition. Oops, let me go ahead and move that through. Acumatica, as PJ described earlier, with all of the open architecture that's available for Acumatica, we are able to harness communication with different e-commerce platforms, different marketplaces like BigCommerce, Shopify, Magento, WooCommerce. These things are all capable of being integrated with your ERP with Acumatica. You know, Acumatica is a modern ERP. It has all of the necessary features to support the activities of a web-based business. A few of our customers that are on the Commerce Edition of Acumatica are almost 80 to 90% e-commerce. And with the flexibility that the Commerce Edition gives these customers, it allows them to let the website be the salesman, and then the operations folks taking care of everything else on the back end through Acumatica. The e-commerce and ERP systems synchronize data in real time or as often as you'd like. So it doesn't necessarily have to be right away, but we can actually gauge that as we are working through implementation. We could set this up to be real time. We could set this up to be a sync every 15 minutes. We have some customers that wait till the end of the day because their customers want to change orders online. So we sync them typically at the end of the day. So with Acumatica's Commerce Edition, we're able to make those kind of decisions with that kind of flexibility. So how this Webstore connector works, we basically have the e-commerce platform like BigCommerce, Shopify, and then we have a commerce connector here that connects that information and runs information back and forth. So 100% of our native connector lives inside of Acumatica. It utilizes a REST API to send and receive that data with your external platform. We actually have features for managing specific customer data, e-commerce data, and we could actually extend this information and extend this integration with other ISV products. These are some of the entities that we can connect with Acumatica's Commerce Edition. So if you guys are utilizing Acumatica ERP, some of you that are already using it, you know that we have customer price classes where we could set up price books based on customers. We can sync customers, their multiple shipping locations, item sales categories, all of your items within Acumatica, whether they are stock or non-stock, all of your pricing. You can even manage images inside of Acumatica. We could send product availability over to the website, as well as sync the sales orders, payments, and tracking information once product is shipped out from Acumatica. What this makes Acumatica become, it becomes your hub. You are managing everything from what products you're able to sell to how you guys manage your customers. We're doing that all within Acumatica as the central repository, and then just using the extension of e-commerce as your salesperson. So again, some other features that are supported out of the box. We have B2B and B2C merchants. So if you wanted to manage, especially with BigCommerce, we're able to manage a full B2B cycle of existing distributors. We can handle gift cards and coupons. Again, customer specific pricing, product availability based on control. So if you're low on inventory, you can make it completely disabled, the item, or you could just say, you know what, let's turn that into pre-orders and let's go ahead and grab those orders so that we know how much more we might need to order. Another feature straight out of the box of Acumatica is matrix items. You guys can sell like t-shirts, have a matrix of color, size, and things like that. That is fully supported with the eCommerce Edition integration. All of your payment terms are available. If you guys take credit cards, depending on which gateways you guys utilize, we can actually do capturing on the website, pulling that as a captured payment. You could actually handle refunds and all of that good stuff inside of Acumatica, so you don't have to go back to your web store if you need to control that. Some other standard Acumatica commerce features like flexible shipping options. You could set up flat fee. There's lots of tools in both Shopify and BigCommerce that, like Shipper HQ, that allows you guys to build rules on when people are purchasing items from the web store. You guys are able to control that with those particular features. We can manage the catalog structure from Acumatica. So we could actually put all of that information together so that if you had a blank site, let's say you're starting from scratch, and you guys are already using Acumatica, we could just push that structure directly from Acumatica ERP into your blank slate of a web store. With both BigCommerce and Shopify and those other platforms, we have definitely great guest customer checkout support. So if a customer doesn't want to create an account on your e-commerce store, we can handle bringing that in as a guest customer. Multi-warehouse support, and if you even have custom fields, we can build mappings between those fields on your e-commerce store as well as in Acumatica. So we could store any kind of information that we need between both the site and the ERP. Some other things that are available, product information. We'll talk a little bit about that in my live demo. Advanced promos, free items, all of that are stock Acumatica features that push over into your e-commerce platform. Again, being able to do real-time or scheduled or even manual syncs. I'll show you some manual syncs today so that we can push things right away. And then a lot of times, you don't even need a developer to modify or configure the system. So natively within Acumatica, we are able to, we have a Shopify native connector as well as a BigCommerce connector. BigCommerce has a great partnership with Acumatica. They were the first ones to start developing that with Acumatica, as well as then Acumatica expanding that out into Shopify. And with some of the newer versions of Acumatica, we are even able to support a lot of new features in Shopify, as well as like POS and customer management and all that. So we talked about the key commerce key features. For any platform that we don't have a native connector, so for other stores like outside of Shopify or BigCommerce, let's say you're on WooCommerce or Magento, we actually have partnerships with a company called Celigo. They are a platform as a service company. This allows us to do on-the-fly mapping with the APIs, and we're able to communicate with Acumatica through this platform and connect to other marketplaces like Jet, Amazon, Magento. So we have lots of options depending on how you guys run your e-commerce. We have a way to connect that with Acumatica. So let's talk about some of the customers that have kind of, migrated over to Acumatica. We've had Saddleback Leather had basically a store connected with NetSuite and things like that. Basically, they needed a better platform, a better ERP to help make their business run a lot smoother. They chose Acumatica as well as the BigCommerce native integration. Since integrating Acumatica eCommerce with BigCommerce, they were able to see increases in revenue, increases in conversion rates, and big decreases in their bounce rates. Another company, Berlin Packaging, as well, saw definitely some big improvements, increase in conversion rates, increased time on their website, and as much as 20% increase, or 20 times increase in web leads after switching to Acumatica and utilizing the Celigo interface. All right, so let's jump into some of the stuff the nitty-gritty. No more PowerPoints. Let's actually jump live into a live demo. So give me 1 second to set up here. Go ahead and pull this over. 1 sec. So let's talk a little bit first about Acumatica. So like PJ mentioned earlier, Acumatica is a great ERP, just great application to run your business on. We have full financials, we have full order management, full inventory management. If you are a service-based company, we have service-based modules, projects, accounting modules. Anything that you believe that you need to run your business, Acumatica can handle those. Out of the box, we have plenty of dashboards that allow us to take a look at what our company is doing. Like as a sales manager, I can log in, I could see how many deals my salespeople are working on. I could see what kind of bookings my team is working on. So I could see all of this information at my fingertips, and then I'm able to drill in and actually get into the meat and potatoes of that particular data. So Acumatica has a strong base as an ERP. Definitely one of the best ERPs that I've ever worked with. So let's talk about the integration with Acumatica and eCommerce. Because Acumatica becomes your central hub, we're able to manage things like your inventory. When you guys get new parts, new finished goods that you guys want to offer to your customers, we can actually come in here and create your item one time in Acumatica, and you fill out all of the information that you guys need specifically for that particular item. And then with our eCommerce tab, we're able to say, is this visible? Do we want this to be featured on the website? Does it need to be invisible? What is the availability? What are we using? Are we tracking the quantity? Do we not really want to show and we just want to just put it out there so we could get orders for it? Those are the kinds of things that we can control from the ERP. And with Acumatica, I can load up any of the images. I could put the categories to drive that information. So if you take a look, I'm just going to go ahead and drop over into my demo site. This demo site is running on BigCommerce. And if I wanted to look at some of my popular products, I can take a look at this Acer laptop that I actually have. And so you can see here, the image is being controlled from Acumatica. The pricing is coming in from Acumatica. All of the SKU information and barcodes or UPC codes, all of that is driven from within Acumatica. So you can see that information here in my cross-reference. You can see the barcode on the attributes tab. I could see the image. All of this is controlled here. But if I wanted to add some additional like URLs, maybe I can come in here and I want to put a YouTube video for this particular stock item, my Acer laptop. Well, what I can do with that is then when the next sync actually runs for Acumatica, at that point, what I'm able to do is just push any new media that I'm attaching to this particular item that is now going to be available inside of the e-commerce site. So, essentially when I come in here and I'm working through adding, new images, I'm adding new media, I'm changing descriptions, all of that. Once that information is updated inside of Acumatica, when our product sync runs, you're no longer needing to actually make changes to the Webstore. Those changes automatically change. And you can see here, I just added that YouTube site inside of Acumatica, and now that video is completely available on my e-commerce. So that's what I mean about when we talk about the power of that integration and being able to centrally manage all of your information within one area. If you guys ever want to find out more on the BigCommerce platform or on any Shopify platforms, just let PJ know. We can always get you in touch with our great representatives that we work with from those platforms, and we can always go into much more detail. Well, let's do this. Let's take this, and we're going to go ahead and add this to my cart, and then I'm going to go ahead and check out. And so when I'm checking out, I can actually put in here, do I want to create an account or do I want to continue as a guest? I'm just going to go ahead and put this in here as pj@pjjordy.com, and I'm going to go ahead and continue as a guest. And we're going to go ahead and check out here, and we'll just say this is going into DSD Business, and we'll go ahead and have that shipped over to our office address here. And California 90706. So you can see here with this platform, the checkout process is completely easy and seamless. Tax automatically calculating. I'm going to go ahead and give some free shipping on this particular order. And now I'm going to go ahead and populate my credit card information. So don't write this down while I'm going through here. This is my personal card. And let's go ahead and grab this information. Put this in here. So the next thing that we have happening here is that we place this order online. And then once we have a site, or once we have that actual order placed, I want to show you in Acumatica kind of what we have here. We have these sync options that we can run on a schedule or we can turn on as real time. And what we will do is we will prepare this particular data, and Acumatica will go out and fetch new data from your BigCommerce site or your Shopify site. And then basically once it's gone out and grabbed that data, we're actually going to go ahead and pull, you can see here, order number 119, we're going to pull that in under order number 119. And so once we have this information processed through this integrator, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some of the things that Acumatica does to handle all of your back order or your back office operations. So I'm going to go into my sales orders module here, and I'm just going to go ahead and refresh, and I'm going to see my new order, BigCommerce order number 119. This is Acumatica order 6148. I'm going to come into my sales order here. We're going to take a look at, you can see here, we checked out as a guest. This is the item that we bought. Tax fully comes over, just like we calculated on our Webstore. We have full commission processing if that's something that you guys need for your back office functionality. But what I also want to show you here is our integration to our shipping carriers. So we integrate to multiple shipping carriers utilizing EasyPost. What I can do here, I default all my orders to UPS Ground. But since I give free shipping, it's probably best that I figure out, is that the best way to actually ship it to this customer? So with that, I could actually shop for rates. We have full auto packaging so that we can estimate the number of boxes needed to ship this product out to our customer. And if I hit the refresh rates functionality here, Acumatica is going to check with all of my carriers that I have accounts with, and it's going to show me if I use UPS Ground, it's going to cost me $15.49. If I use FedEx Standard Overnight, it's going to be $93.68. But if I use FedEx Ground, it's actually $1 cheaper to use FedEx Ground. So I'm going to just go ahead and change from UPS to FedEx Ground. So now not only am I able to calculate and figure out all of those pricings, I'm able to know, am I going to be able to save some money on shipping as well? We do have full discount capabilities. We can also integrate that with eCommerce. And then at this point here, this order is complete. the payment that was taken on the Webstore automatically also gets pulled in over here into Acumatica as a prepayment and with the full amount applied to this particular order. And then when we're ready to ship this, we can actually create a shipment inside of the system. Once we create a shipment inside of Acumatica, we are able to print pick lists. I can have my warehouse staff start to pick this particular order. You know, we have full warehouse management capability. So if you guys want to use barcode scanners to pick, to pack, to receive, to do transfers, to adjust inventory, to even just check inventory in the warehouse from a mobile device, Acumatica has that built in out of the box. So once I have that shipment and the shipping department has said, okay, you know what, we did only use one box. I'm going to go ahead and say that we put this one item in that particular box. When they are done shipping, they would just confirm that. And again, with our connection to EasyPost, what this allows us to do is right away, we get our tracking number from FedEx and we get our shipping label. So from with this case here, I can print out my shipping label and get that out the door. Next process is just once we've confirmed that shipment, printed out our labels, put that on the box, sent the product out the door, we're able to invoice that and commit this transaction to our accounting and to our finance system. So at this point here, we're just going to go ahead and process this invoice. If I want to email an invoice to the customer, I can email a copy of that invoice. It gets attached as an activity here. We can actually see the email that's going to go out to PJ and basically say, hey, bud, this email is to let you know that we have a new invoice on your account. And if I wanted to see what that invoice looked like, I can actually print that out and get a copy of that particular invoice. So everything integrated within the system makes it a lot easier, not only to just let the Webstore do its work and then let your operations team not worry about any duplicate entry. We just take it from one step to the next. All right, let's go ahead and get this out the door. All right, so let's talk about, so basically that's the big features that I really wanted to show you, the power of an integrated e-commerce platform with Acumatica ERP. But we can also talk about some of the other functions that are available. Acumatica is fully mobile. And what I mean by that, it is we are able to Acumatica has an iOS and an Android app that you can download. You can access any of this information, any of the dashboards, any of the list screens that you guys have seen inside of this system. You are able to actually see that on your mobile device. If I want to make a dashboard available on my mobile, I can actually click the design button, hit properties, and actually just expose that to the mobile application. Just by doing that allows this to be available on the mobile app. All of the permissions that you would have, if I am a user that has restricted permission and I'm only able to see certain things inside of Acumatica, those automatically translate as well to our mobile app. We have full reporting functionality. We talked about our dashboards. We talked about creating inquiries. If we take a look here at our receivables, I'm going to go ahead and pull up one of our inquiries here. We actually have the capability of building pivot tables. So for those in accounting that like to build pivot tables, I'm able to actually take an inquiry here, which is just looking at all items sold to different customers. I can actually come in here, save this as a pivot table, and we can call this sales pivot. I can share that with other users. And then what ends up happening here is that I can take any of this data that I have built in this particular screen, and I can generate a pivot table. So if I wanted to see, first country and then maybe I want to take a look at the state, and then I want to see what my extended profit, my extended amounts are. Oops, let me go ahead and drag that over here. And then maybe for the column wise, maybe I want to see this by item. That might pull out a lot, but at that point here, I can also say, you know what, let's make this a filter. And now I could save this pivot. And now once I have this pivot built, Acumatica will actually kind of pull all of that information that you just saw on that inquiry screen and pull that into this particular pivot. And so now I can see by country, by state. And then if I wanted to just filter, I can just choose my Acer laptop, say okay. And then Acumatica will just say, hey, I can now see by country, by state, my extended amount and my extended profit. At any time, if you guys want to see more of what Acumatica can do for your business, as well as an integration with your web store, please reach out to us, let us know. I'll be glad to spend a lot more time with you guys, show you guys all the different things that Acumatica can do on the back office side, front office side, and with the third party, outside integrations. We'd love to go ahead and do that for you guys. At this moment, I'm just going to go ahead and turn this back over to Kimberly for any Q&A.
Great, thank you, Chris. We did get a couple through chat just now. And again, if anyone has any that have come up over the last few minutes, feel free to use the chat. The question was, does the system also work as an intranet for shared internal documents?
Absolutely. Acumatica has a built-in wiki system. So if let me go back here, make sure I have the right screen. Yep. Acumatica has a full-on wiki system. We could utilize that here through our universal search. If I wanted to look for any kind of document, let's just say we're going to look for, let's just say if we have some how to enter a sales order. And so we could use this universal search, and we can use this wiki system to allow us to build SOP documents, internal documents for customers, those kind of things we could use all within the system here. And all you would need to do is build the wiki out for your particular company. So again, inside of Acumatica here, I can actually start creating different wikis and use this completely as a full-on intranet site.
Perfect. Another question was, what database does Acumatica use?
So the most common database that Acumatica users use, especially if you are hosted by Acumatica, is Microsoft SQL Server. If you choose to host Acumatica yourself, as PJ explained, there are multiple deployment options. If you guys decide you want to host this on your own server, you guys will actually have the option to either use Microsoft SQL Server or MySQL. So you actually have options based on your personal preference.
Perfect. Another relates to, I guess, kind of user permissions. Are those fully flexible based on, I guess, the type of employee?
Absolutely. In Acumatica, we actually have out-of-the-box user roles that are designated with certain types of access. Acumatica, like for example, if you have an AR clerk or AP clerk, or just some type of viewer, we can take these permissions and apply them to users, and you can just kind of stack them on a user by user basis to control at the top level what kind of tasks those particular users can actually insert data, delete data, or even just view data, as well as taking it one step further as what we call row level security, where we can actually create groups of users that can see in particular data. So if you have a key customer list we can say only our top salespeople can see that list. Otherwise, everybody else just sees standard customers. So we can actually go down as far as what we call row level security as well as just regular roles for tasks.
Great. So I think this one kind of relates to that sentence you said about Shopify with POS integration. Could you elaborate on the point of sale integration?
Sure. So basically, with Shopify, there is now, I believe, with the version of Shopify, I think it's Shopify Pro, there is an actual POS module that you could utilize in store rather than just on a web store, like if you're just kind of online shopping. But there is POS functionality that has been added to Shopify, and since it utilizes the same database in Acumatica, those sales that are taken in store can automatically flow into your Acumatica ERP and deduct inventory. If you need to do special orders, those kind of things will flow over from the POS if you're using that portion of it.
I see. So in that way, it acts as a sort of a brick and mortar representation, and then still
Absolutely. Yep.
And that can be done with mobile as well, then, or anything basically.
Yeah. So technically, most Shopify POS users are utilizing like iPads or those kinds of devices in store. So you would actually be all of the front end of your brick and mortar would be done through Shopify, and then we would sync those orders back into Acumatica so we could record them in your financial system.
Perfect. So trade shows, like, or anything like that. Anything.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yep.
Great. Perfect. Well, that actually wrapped up the total questions that we got through the chat. But if anyone has any remaining questions outstanding, please feel free to reach out to any of the email that you've received, and I'm on the other side of that. So happy to gather them and reference our team here to get them answered.
Yeah, let me get our contact info out here real quick. Give me one sec. And let's go to the last page. Sorry, I don't usually control both sides of it, but here we go. Oh, wow, that didn't go to where I wanted it to go. Sorry about that.
PJ's probably ready for us.
The end, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a tech guy, not a PowerPoint guy. Sorry. One sec here. There we go. Boom. Please reach out to PJ at any particular time.
PJ, are you ready to close this out?
There we go.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for putting that on. I greatly appreciate it. So as Chris said, if anybody would like any more questions or would like to see more of Acumatica and possibly, go through a tailored demo based on your business needs, feel free to reach out. You've got my email here, office and mobile number. And other than that, I look forward to hearing from any or all of you, and have yourself a great day, and we thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes. Thanks, everyone. You'll be getting a copy of this recording within the next 24 hours. Have a great day.